Welcome to the track by track breakdown for the album Margate Crows by Squangy Bobbins. I'll be talking through kind of some of the influences on each track and what each track is about and who we've managed to get featured on some of the tracks. I hope you enjoy.
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out of here. Whoa.
Get Out is the opening track on the album. We really wanted to open with high energy, high intensity, and it's more of a kind of punk track really. It's like kind of on the indie punk kind of end. Basically wanted to create a track which was about trying to get away from your hometown, trying to get away from the place that you call home, trying to get out of that space. I think a lot of people will go through that, but even if they end up coming back, there's always that kind of young rebellion of wanting to leave the place that you grew up, and that's kind of what the song is about. And I felt like we didn't have that song. Rock and Roll Star starts off definitely Maybe by Oasis, which is about trying to get away from here by The Enemy was a big influence on this track as well. I wrote it with Sam and Adam at the time. We recorded it at the Albion Rooms in Margate, which is the Libertine studio. And yeah, it's a very basic concept of a song, but it's full of energy. It's only just under 2.5 minutes, and it really sets the tone for the album. Fake ID is the lead single from the album. We were lucky enough to work with Billy Long on this track. I sent him 2 demos of different songs, and this is the one that he picked out and said that he'd like to work on. So we managed to go to his studio and we spent the whole day with him. He produced it, mixed it, engineered it, and then we also managed to get him to do some backing vocals on it as well. It's a song about romanticising those early days of your kind of nights out, your first kind of nights out, and really looking back on that time really fondly and full of nostalgia for those days, even though those days were probably not as good as you're remembering. That's kind of what it's about. Take Me Into the Night. I don't really have many memories of writing it. I was struggling to think. Whilst I agreed to do this kind of video thing about songs on the album, thinking back, I really can't remember what this song is. I know it's kind of about feelings of hope, and you know, if you're looking for something, you might not find what you're looking for, but you might find something else along the way. There's lines in the song about you will be okay. So it's just generally a positive song about trying to get through, and that you always will. And there'll be people around you that can pull you up, and it's about looking to those people and helping other people out. So yeah, it's quite a lot of information there for a song that I don't remember, I think. Greatest Thing is about not being frightened to try something or to do something, because it might be the greatest thing that you ever do in your life. I don't want to sound too philosophical or like I'm trying to inspire people or anything like that, because it's quite a weird thing to say about yourself, but I hope the song maybe inspires someone that's feeling quite anxious about bringing out their own music or doing something creative, and it just pushes them to do it. That would be absolutely incredible, and that's worth more than anything to do with this album on its own. Changing My Life is a song literally about that. It's about going through moments that might be quite difficult, but then getting through it and feeling better for it, and you going through those life-changing moments that happen here and there, and you become a better person, your life becomes more positive. The lines in the verses kind of go against each other a little bit. It's like there isn't a God, but I keep praying, prepared for the worst, but the best is to come. So it's kind of about being pessimistic in life, but good things still happening, about coming through that. It actually features an anti-chorus, which I didn't even know existed, but Alex, the producers, told us about that. So the high point in the songs is the verses, and the low point in the songs is the chorus, which adds a really new kind of element to the album. We actually managed to get Sean Hutchinson from Bleachers, and he's drummed with Taylor Swift is on about 30 odd of her songs. He's drummed with Sabrina Carpenter. He's drummed with Bruce Springsteen. So to get him on the album was absolutely unbelievable. Couldn't believe our luck when we managed to do it.
So Margate Crows is ostensibly a breakup song. I came up with the idea when I was walking along Palm Bay near Cliftonville. It can also be like an allegory for anything in which you have to move forward with your life. And that's kind of what I was thinking. It's kind of an indie pop song, so it's a bit of a black sheep in comparison to the other tracks that Lewis composed. And I kind of came up with it as an amalgamation between 3 different influences and have been a big influence on me as a musician. The Pretenders, REM and The Smiths, with a bit of Green Day thrown in as well. So 4. It's also a big privilege as well as a lead vocalist on Scrungy Bobbins. So it's a big change and a big step in a different direction for us as a band. And it's the title track to the album.
Break came about because I was listening to lots of albums where they would have like a minute long song in the middle that was blatantly heavier than their usual sound. It was the only song that wasn't written when we went into the studio, and we all wrote it together there. I kind of sprung it on everyone, and it's just 1 minute long. I wanted it to be fast, energetic, quite aggressive sound, very punky. It's about breaking away from the mundanity of life, and there's a line in there that says you nearly break again and again, but you keeping it in won't tell your friends. And I think that is the most important line in there. It's just about full frustration of life, and hopefully if you share some of those with other people, that will help you through. Flying is a very up and down track, so the verses are quite negative and the chorus is a bit up and down in itself really, but that's where the more positive moments are in the chorus. The song is about kind of looking at the places that you used to spend a lot of time, or potential nightclubs and pubs and things like that have now turned into blocks of flats, or they've turned into new build homes, or they've turned into fancy restaurants or something else. And that can be quite a depressing thing to think about. But the chorus really lifts it. We managed to get my friend Trevor to play saxophone on it, which adds a lovely new element to the album and to that song itself. We got Dan Konopka of OK Go, who's won a Grammy. So we got a Grammy award on the album, which is absolutely insane. We based the song around what he did on the drums, basically. So the song is about looking at those buildings and places that were once special that have now turned into something different, and trying to get through that a little bit. Where to Go was a song that I brought to rehearsals and I wasn't too sure about, but when we started playing it all together, everyone just seemed to really like it, and we went with it. It's got more of an 80s sound to it than some of the others on the album. We went for a more kind of dusty drum sound to a bit more vintage, just to branch the album out into different sounds. It starts off with Once Upon a Time When I Was Shaking, with the echoes running through right down my back. I don't know what that means, but it sounded cool, and normally I would want the lyrics to kind of mean something. They kind of sound like they mean something, but it is kind of more to do with imagery in that song. The choruses on the song are about going to a place where you feel comfortable. It's about finding things really difficult in life. You don't know where you're going, you don't know what your next step is. Someone take me to a place that I know, and you can kind of start again from there. And the last chorus in the song is a lot more positive, and we got a local artist, Jake Argyle, to do some backing vocals on the track, which I think really lifts it, because my range isn't always high enough for what I want to sing, so to bring him in was great, just to lift it up a little bit. I Will Stand is basically a mental health song. That was the working title of it for years. It was the first song I wrote for it. And it's about just really struggling, rattling around your own brain. But the chorus is defiant. It's I will stand, I will be here the next day. Originally I wanted it to just be acoustic, kind of that just singer-songwriter vibe on it. I managed to get Tommy Gleason from Feeder to do the acoustic guitar on it, which was unbelievable. I'm a huge Feeder fan. I've seen Feeder 11 times. I've met them a couple of times. So to get him on it was absolutely insane for me. We then also decided that it needed a little bit more. So we got Ivan on the track, who is a cellist who has done a lot of work with Liam Gallagher. So to have him on it and Tommy was unbelievable. And it's a song that really does mean a lot, that song. I Wish is the album closer, and it's quite a juvenile look at the world, really. It's just talking about the things that you wish were better. So the opening line of the song is, I wish I was thinner. There's lines in there, I wish my band was bigger. Nice, clever rhyme there. There's lines in there about I wish the NHS was fixed. But then the chorus is about being grateful for the things that you do have. Free healthcare, I've got friends, a roof on my head, but still longing for better things and knowing that that's okay. You're comfortable and grateful for the things that you have, but actually you wish you had more than that. And there's really there's lines on there that are a little bit out there as well, about, I wish that pets could live forever. I wish that loved ones wouldn't get sick. Very simple things, but I thought they were important to be in there. We managed to get the guitarist from Pendulum, I'm not going to say his full name because it's Welsh, I will pronounce it wrong, but his name's Perry, and he does an insane guitar solo at the end of it. To have him on it was amazing. The guitar solo really closes out the track and really just lit it massively, and hopefully leaves an impression for the end of the album. I hope you enjoyed listening to me waffle on about what the songs are about. I hope it gave a little bit more insight if you're interested. You can pre-order the album now, pre-order Margate Crows via Rough Trade. Go and buy it.